Hello and welcome to our video guide for the Poison Pathfinder build. The freshly reworked Toxic Growth quickly became the strongest skill for the Poison Bow archetype. It creates toxic pustules that detonate when sufficiently poisoned by your other abilities. You will easily reach the maximum amount of poisons without needing to compromise your damage with multi-shot support, or using a weaker bow with additional arrow modifiers. To detonate pustules, use Poison Burst Arrow. It deals a solid amount of damage, and has great area coverage thanks to fork and splashing explosions. It is not as strong as the Toxic Growth, but it will be able to take down fast or teleporting enemies that run out of pustule explosions. The Plague Bearer is another great skill to supplement your clear speed. It stores a portion of your poison damage, which can be released on demand. It is usually your strongest hitting ability, but has limited uses. Lastly, you should use the Stormcaller arrow with a dedicated weapon set to inflict powerful shocks. The Pathfinder Ascendancy doubles your maximum poison limit. Additionally, your poisons will spread to nearby enemies upon killing their target, significantly improving your clear speed. It also makes you immune to slow effects, and attacking won't slow down your movement as much. Use Poison Burst Arrow and Plague Bearer to clear packs of enemies. Against stronger foes, use Toxic Growth and detonate it with Poison Burst. The poison duration is quite low, you need to reapply it often. Furthermore, use Despair to lower chaos resistance and Stormcaller Arrow to inflict shock. Your defense is based on evasion and maximum life. You can decide to supplement it with Energy Shield or commit more to additional deflection rate. At higher budget, you can include both of them at once. The clear speed is great, especially against large packs of monsters that allow for easy poison spread, such as Abyss or Breach encounters. Damage against bosses is also great. The ramp up of poisons is very fast. The build can work with a minimal budget. You only need basic rare items to comfortably clear the highest tier of maps. There are two useful unique items, Snakebite Gloves for additional poison stacks, and Ryslatha's Coil for a boost to your physical damage. There are also two alternative routes. You can use the Plague Finger Gloves for scaling with elemental damage, or Voltaxic Rift and focus on the lightning damage only. Usually the default physical variant is the best option. Ryslatha's Coil greatly improves your potential maximum damage. Only the 10 strongest poisons will deal damage at the same time, so the weakened poisons will be discarded anyway. Snakebite Gloves grant tons of damage via additional poison stacks. Try to get corrupted ones with additional sockets to get a bit of extra resistance here. You can also use the Plague Finger Gloves to inflict poisons with elemental damage. You will need tons of flat elemental damage on your rings and bow to make it worth it, but it is possible. The Ming's Heart Ring provides tons of extra chaos damage, especially if you boost it with a catalyst, but it also significantly lowers your survivability. The Voltaxic Rift is another build alternating unique. Here you would focus on adding lightning damage and scaling the converted chaos hits instead. It doesn't scale well into the endgame, as the base damage is too low. You will simply look for the highest possible physical damage on your weapon and ring and increase the gem levels. You will need a bit of mana and regeneration to sustain it too. For defense, focus on life, evasion, and resistances. You can opt for deflection or energy shield as an additional layer. Aim for the highest physical damage you can find, ideally paired with gem levels. The attack speed is not important, but it makes gameplay smoother. Use runes to add extra chaos damage. Raising the poison limit is also great if you can overcome the duration penalty. On the quiver, focus on increases to damage. Your projectile speed also affects it. Avoid Pierce, as it will make Stormcaller Arrow unusable. Adding physical damage will also be good, but it becomes less useful as your bow improves. The rings can add a lot of physical damage to your attacks. You will also need some mana or mana regeneration if you raise the gem levels too much. Leech is not a great option for dot-based builds, but it can help a bit too. Your amulet is the last piece to get additional gem levels. You will also want the usual defensive modifiers, attributes, or mana. Anoint the lasting trauma for best damage, or low tolerance for better clear speed. You will always want to use a pure evasion body armor, as some of them can lower your movement speed penalty when using skills. It is your biggest source of evasion. Get lots of it here. Helmet is also a purely defensive piece. Look for high life, evasion, and resistances. If you decided on hybrid defense, use a purely energy shield helmet instead. The boots are very important to raise your movement speed. You will also need the usual defensive modifiers. They can also lower the duration of dangerous ailments, such as freeze or shock, or lower the movement penalty when using skills. At first you might need to use a rare belt. It is a great piece to pick up tons of resistances in life, allowing you to get more valuable modifiers on other gear, but ultimately it doesn't offer damage. Get at least one jewel with mana on kill modifier. Other than that, look for ailment magnitude. It will boost both your poisons and shocks. Toxic growth creates exploding pustules that poison enemies. Use other skills to detonate them faster. Each use overwrites old pustules, as the limit is quite low. You will want to constantly apply new poisons due to the Arakaali Lust support, as well as trying to get a higher roll on your physical damage with the Ryslathus coil. Bind this skill to the second weapon set for a damage bonus at the cost of attack speed. Poison Burst Arrow explodes upon hitting a target. Both the initial hit and explosion can inflict poison, which lasts significantly longer. Only the explosion is guaranteed to inflict poison. You can use the poison support to always inflict 2 poison stacks at the same time. Later on, even just 1 stack will be enough, and you can focus on area coverage. Plague Bearer stores a portion of your poison damage to fuel a powerful Nova that always poisons on hit. The Astral Projection support is mandatory. You should aim for the middle of the pack so the poisons can spread better. The Bursting Plague helps with refueling the Nova again. Stormcaller Arrow fires an arrow that sticks to a target and detonates with lightning damage after some time. Use it to inflict powerful and long-lasting shocks. Piercing causes it to miss enemies. The shock is dependent on the inflicted damage. Bind this skill to the first weapon set. Wine Dancer is an accumulating buff that improves your evasion rating. Upon getting hit, it releases an area attack around you. It is a utility skill, but it can also deal a solid amount of damage, especially if you get knocked down while sprinting or frozen. Blind and Maim also greatly weaken nearby enemies. Vine Arrow creates a plant that deals a small portion of the poison as extra damage, but also significantly slows down enemies. Unfortunately, the Font of Rage support can no longer be used for free damage bonus here. You can still get some utility via slow and a bit of extra poison damage, but it is not that important. Despair is an offensive curse that lowers the chaos resistances of affected enemies. You will want the usual support gems that make your curses stronger and faster to activate. You can also use the Prolonged Duration gem to make it last longer. Withering Presence inflicts withered debuff on nearby enemies. You can also use the Ghost Dance if you have decided on a hybrid energy shield and evasion setup. Thanks to the Prolonged Duration gem here, your withered stacks will last a bit longer, but you won't get to the maximum amount anyway. As usual, the quest rewards are very straightforward. You will want to improve your charms, although better flask recovery is not bad either. For the Venom Crypt reward, you will always want to get better protection against stuns. As the last choice, pick extra resistance. With better gear later on, you can get the extra movement speed instead. This quest reward is easily interchangeable. Due to very limited poison stacks in the early game, the popular Lightning Arrow and Lightning Rod combo will probably be better and easier to scale with leveling gear. Try to upgrade your bow, rings, and gloves every few levels. Flat added damage on them is insanely important during the campaign and can easily double your damage every time you do an upgrade. We recommend transitioning to poison skills once you unlock the second Ascendancy trial that doubles your maximum poison stacks. If you want to use a hybrid defense, you should remove the deflection notables and allocate those points towards Spectral Ward and Subterfuge Mask notables. On the final passive tree, you will want to make full use of the weapon swap system. The first set will be used for extra shock and curse effects, while the second set is dedicated for poison. Take note of the Pierce notable, you will want it only on the second set, while the rest of its cluster is beneficial for both skills. Piercing is very good for the Poison Burst arrow, even when you add the Fork effect via support gem. Keep the generic attack damage bonuses on your general passive tree, so they can contribute to both poisons and shock. Thanks to the new updated system, you can use the same weapon for both weapon sets. We hope this guide managed to answer all your questions regarding the poison build. If you still have any doubts, ask them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you soon in the next video.